look, the trends are not great. Beyond the economics, which I think we've talked a lot about, you look at the anxiety trends, anxiety rates more than doubling over the past decade, depression rates also more than doubling over the past decade. You look at loneliness trends, and the fact that the amount of time Americans spend with their friends per day has fallen 70% in the past decade. The fact that 1 in 10 Americans report having no close friends today.
Yeah, we actually have an episode on what we called the relationship recession that talks about that epidemic of loneliness and whether it's friendships or romantic partners.
It's huge. It's such a big problem. And to me, I think that most concerning trends that you see in America and probably in the world, whether it be politics or business or media, whatever it is, I think most things can be reverse engineered to the fact that we are an incredibly lonely society at this point. I think that explains everything. Now, what's the positive? I think the positive is that we're starting to recognize this, and these conversations are starting to be had. I mean, the idea that Mike, you mentioned your daughter there, the fact that she's talking about, am I going to be able to afford a home? I think there's a very dark side to that, which is that why is she thinking about being able to afford a home? But there's also kind of a positive side to it in that people are having those conversations so much that even a 13-year-old girl is hearing about it. And, I mentioned those loneliness trends, and then you say to me, we actually have an episode that we're working on that addresses that problem. Mm-hmm. So to me, I think we're reaching an inflection point where people are starting to understand the issues, and actually quite smart, thoughtful and empathetic people, such as yourselves, are developing platforms to get these issues, get the word out. I mean, it was sort of the Joe Rogans and the Andrew Tates for a long time, but I think the tide is beginning to turn. I think that our generation is slowly but surely becoming fed up with the bullshitters, the people who just take a contrarian, wild, edgy view and then pitch it as, you're escaping the matrix, you're taking the red pill, this is the truth. And I think we're beginning to understand the real issues here. And the real issues are the ones that we have talked about on this podcast. What is happening to the younger generation, what is happening in terms of inequality, what is happening in terms of housing, in terms of loneliness, in terms of relationships. These are fast becoming mainstream issues that the majority of people are beginning to understand at this point. And so I think the only thing that can happen after that is that we take real action. I think once you recognize the trend and once you collectively decide we don't like this, that's when you start to change things. So the trends are not good, but the fact that we are all talking about them, to me, is an indication that we're about to change them.
So to learn more about the issues affecting Canada's young urban middle class, please follow The Missing Middle.